Thank you for watching this week's episode of Inside IU Volleyball with Sherry Dunbar. I'm Cody Sherritt. The team just returned from their first road trip to Virginia Tech where they played in the Hokie Classic. They beat High Point but fell to Virginia Tech and Cleveland State. Coach, what kind of positives do you take out of the weekend?
The first weekend is a lot of learning, and obviously you want to come away 3-0 if you can, but I think we made some changes that we really talked about making throughout the tournament. The last day, I thought, when we played Virginia Tech, they were the most competitive team in the tournament, and we played our most competitive round of volleyball. And I think by doing that, we showed some of the things that we're able to do. I think we played with more emotion, played with more chemistry on the floor, and I think those things have to be a constant, and then technically we have to get better at the things we need to get better at in volleyball, which we're working on this week.
And you've had time to watch the film. Mm-hmm. What needed to be better in the Cleveland State and Virginia Tech matches?
Well, I think there's a couple things. I think, this is a different team than we've had in the past, and there's nothing wrong with that, and that's what we have to embrace, is finding a different way to win. And that requires everyone to step up and do a little bit more, and we don't care where we come up with those points, but it can't be from just 2 or 3 people. It's got to come from our defensive specialists serving more aggressive, and it's got to come from making the extra dig or two so we get another opportunity to swing to get a kill. It's got to come from especially Sam, Marsh, and Ivy getting more kills for us. It's got to come from our block. So it can come from a lot of different sources, and we just have to find a way as a team to everybody do a little bit more and increase those numbers.
And we saw a lot of play from freshman Morgan Leach,
Mm-hmm.
and even some from Colleen Smith.
Mm-hmm.
How did you feel about their performances?
I thought for the first weekend, I thought they did very well, and especially Morgan starting, all 3 matches, and one of the matches averaging, over 1.5 balls blocking a game, which put her already in the top 5 or 6 in the conference with blocks. And hitting, I thought she was pretty aggressive, and serving. She adds a new dimension for us, and she's the type of player that's only going to get better. Every single day she touches the ball and is in this program in a new system, and understanding it more, she's going to get a lot better. I thought Colleen came in and did a really good job. She's got a comfort level to run the middles, and I think the middles know that. And so when she's in the game, they're getting up in the air, and they're doing that, and we have to get, all 3 of our setters have strengths and have weaknesses, just like all of our players, and we have to be able to utilize those strengths to be able to help our team this year.
2 players that stood out. Caitlin Cox was on the
Mm-hmm.
all-tournament team,
Mm-hmm.
and Kelci Marschall had 2 matches with 15-plus kills.
Yeah, I was really happy with Kate, and not just because she was on the all-tournament team and dug some balls, but I thought she was a very good leader. Really directed traffic in the back row for us with serve receive, and passed a ton of balls. We really let her pass about half the court all weekend, and I thought she did a great job of that and kept us in system a lot of times with her ball touch. So I was happy about that. She's got to find more ways to dig more balls, not the balls that are just at her. And that's our team in general. And that's what we're talking about, finding a way. Find a way to dig the extra ball that's not the ball that's, coming right here. It's the ball 2 feet away. It's the ball 3 feet away. But as a whole, I was very happy with her performance and kind of where she's headed early in the season. And Kelci Marschall, she knows this is a big year for her for stepping up. A lot of times playing 6 rotations. So different pressure put on her. And I thought as a whole she handled it, and I think kind of a light bulb clicked on with her in the Virginia Tech match, even though hitting percentage wise and everything, it might not have been her best match, but I thought she stayed much more positive and less frustrated with her play, and really just tried to take 1 point at a time. And I think that helps her a great deal, especially when you're in the match a ton. You don't have time to get frustrated and to think so much, you just have to compete. And I thought she did a much better job in that match, and I think she had more fun doing it. So I think if she can continue to find those key words, that kind of get her into that fearless behavior and that aggressiveness that she uses, I think that will help us a great deal as well.
And speaking of Marsh, I took some time this week to get to know Kelci Marschall off the court. Kelci, thanks for joining me. We're at the Indiana Memorial Union, one of the most beautiful places on campus. Why did you choose here?
Well, the Union is just awesome. There are so many things to do inside. I know Sam and I had bowling here our freshman spring, and that spot holds just a tender place in my heart, and I love it, and I love coming back here and sleeping and eating in the Union is just, you can do anything in there.
A midday nap is the best thing in the lobby.
Absolutely. They have couches. I mean, it's quiet. Yeah, it's just, you can't beat it.
So classes just started this week. How do you like the start of your junior year?
You know, I have the best schedule I've ever had since I've been here. And like today I only had one class, and I took a nap, and it was phenomenal. So far I'm really liking it. I mean, it's syllabus week, so you're getting out of classes early, and you know, you have a little extra time, so can't really argue about that.
It's always nice. Oh, your mom's always at games taking pictures. Do you have any photography skills?
None whatsoever. She has that Safari camera, and she keeps getting bigger and bigger lenses, and I mean, I love having the pictures and being able to look back, and there are a lot of pictures when she first started doing it of me like, what are you doing, Mom? And embarrassed, but now I kind of just embrace it, and I say, Dee Dee's gonna take pictures, deal with it. So you're pretty photogenic. Are there any awkward family photos? Oh, there are tons of awkward family photos. You have ones of people not really knowing when the picture snaps, and we have a big family get-together, and it's over like 150 people on my mom's side, and she's the one taking the picture. So when you try to get that picture, that's normally when you get the really awkward people, when you really dig deep and look closely. Outside of everything that comes with being an IU volleyball player, what's your favorite part about being in Wilmington? Well, right now I'm really excited because fall is just around the corner, and that's my favorite thing ever. I mean, we have so many trees on campus, and when all the leaves start changing, it's just my favorite thing to just walk around and not have anything to do and just watch the leaves and hang out. The foliage is great. It is. Love it. And football season? Oh, you gotta love football season. Yes. So you were the subject this week. I'm gonna give you the power and choose who we do next week. I mean, we were just talking about her, so I'm gonna have to say Sam. Your best friend on the team? One of them. You know, I'm pretty close with a lot of the girls, and she's definitely one that I would call a best friend. I think Sam and I are gonna have to go out to eat someplace and film it. Yeah, you know, Sam's an interesting character to watch eat and be around. I try to not sit by her when we eat. I love her to death, but we all have those things, and eating is her thing. She's a little messy. All right, thanks, Kelci. Thanks. Kelci Marschall, like everybody on this team, very entertaining off the court.
Yeah, lots of personality, and I think as you traveled with them this past weekend, you probably saw some of that personality. Jade singing the airport, and you know, they're always just playing pranks, doing funny things, and they do make me laugh, and I think they really do enjoy being together. And Marsh is somebody, you know, she's got a great outlook on life. She has some goals to be a college coach, and so we talk about that a lot, and you know, has some psychology background and doing that as a minor, and I told her she should major in it, you know, as I go through the coaching profession. But she's got some really determined goals, and she's a determined person, and I think she would make a great college coach.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the gymnastics competition in the
nice.
Roanoke Airport.
I'm sure the patrons really did too.
But I'm a little sad I wasn't invited to partake in it.
Maybe next time.
I've got some.
Get your double flip going.
I've got some flips, some round-offs.
Or the somersault.
This week is the first home tournament, the IU Classic. You face Southeast Missouri, Youngstown State, and Buffalo.
I think the thing with preseason tournaments is we don't know a whole lot about any of them until we really sit down and watch some film. So all the film came in late last night. So today my assistants will break that all up, and I'll see kind of the broken up copy. But I think the most important thing for me is to focus on the team, our team. And so we're really geared in on a game plan for getting better this week in practice. And we're excited to play at home. As you know, I mean, playing at home is such an advantage for us, a home court advantage. And starting school this first week, it's nice to be able to stay home and not travel, and then being home again next week for another home tournament. So I think having them at home the first 2 weeks of classes and kind of getting them oriented and getting them to start on a good point, you know, especially with classes, I think is very important.
And this week we have the first tweet of the week.
All right.
It comes from Hoosier43, Josh
Hello,
Bowles.
Hoosier43.
And he asks, which of this weekend's opponents will be the toughest? Can't wait to see the team this weekend.
And Josh, we are excited to see you this weekend. You know, like I said, we don't know a ton about them. I know Buffalo went 2-1, I think, this past weekend. And so I'm assuming that maybe they're playing a little bit better than the other two. But I think it's going to be very even. It's very early. obviously in the year. So I think everybody's kind of trying to find their way, putting in different lineups, just like we did this past weekend, and trying to see what the chemistry is going to be like on the court. So I think we have to be ready, and that's what I told our players last weekend. It really doesn't matter who we play right now. We are so focused on what we need to do, and we'll kind of coach them through the matches right now. You know, we get into Big Ten play, then we're in elaborate scouting reports and all kinds of things. But for us right now, the preseason is about us getting better.
And we hope to see all of you out at U Gym this weekend. For Sherry Dunbar, I'm Cody Sherritt. Thank you for watching this episode of Inside IU Volleyball.